Oh no. All right. Well, now we can go live. I've got a beer, got a little Fenway Faithful, and it's time. So, hey, I am Megan Parisi. Just want to say hi. Hi, everybody. And I am here with, well, myself right now, here with a Fenway Faithful from Sam Adams. I'm the head brewer at Sam Adams Boston Tap Room down in Faneuil Hall. All right. Again, like I said, first live, let me just have a little beer for a second. Anyway, so first thing, I just kind of want to just, talk and just, say hey, see how everyone's doing. Waiting for Brienne to get logged in, but just want to see how everyone's doing. I know times are kind of tough and weird and bizarre, but at least we've got beer. The sun's out today, definitely helps the mood. I'll be honest, I'm kind of doing weird. It's not great, but I'm okay. I've got my husband, got my cat, got my beer. All right, let me see if Bree's here yet. So we're going to chat a little about, brewing in Boston, about Pink Boot Society, and what that group is all about. Bree, where are you? Anyway, while we're waiting for her to get on here, I think we're having some technical difficulties. So I certainly can't complain because, like I said, this is all new for me. So let me tell you a little bit about what we've been doing at the tap room. As you probably know, really not much. We closed down for business in mid-March. So it's been 5-6 weeks now since we've been at the brewery. Man, I gotta say, that was about as long as we were actually open. I miss you guys there. It's just not the same without you. It is really strange to not be brewing for you, having a beer at the bar with you. So let's consider this, at least for now, our beer at the bar. It's my bar here at home, and I hope that that's at least going to work for now. So how has, just trying to think about how things have changed since the whole shutdown, since this virus has started, how, brewing has changed for us. I mean, the whole, you see what's going on, in Boston right now. You see a lot of breweries that are, switching to, takeout, delivery, anything to sort of keep that connection with, with their community. And it's just amazing how quickly people have pivoted, to be able to do that. It's really been, you're seeing, just seeing like a really, strong, resilient community. I mean, we haven't, done pickup and takeaway from the tap rooms, mainly because it's really not feasible for us. We're in Faneuil Hall. There's not going to be the people there. So just, out of an abundance of caution for us, we decided not to go that route. But I've definitely been trying to do my part to support, the other breweries and tap rooms, whether I'm going there or getting beer from there or picking up usually from the Craft Beer Cellar, who also does deliver. Shout out to my ladies at Craft Beer Cellar in Belmont. They will actually bring you beer too, and you can pick your own, they've also got, just in case you need to know, they've got cheese. That's really nice. So, get, cheese, beer, get all types too. But I'm trying to really especially, stay with my Massachusetts breweries. Though they have gotten in some other beers that I might just need to check out soon. Well, I'm going to talk about, Pink Boot Society just a little bit. One of the things that we did shortly before we had to shut down was brew for the International Women's Day, which was on March 8th. So if you don't know, first, Pink Boot Society is, the professional organization for women in the brewing industry. So started, I believe, 13 years ago. My math might be a little off. So started us just a small gathering of women in the beer industry, and since then it's grown to be a huge professional organization that supports women through education. So we have oh, hey, we've got Bree. Hold on. This is going to get more interesting. You don't want to just listen to me ramble. You want to listen to us talk. Hey, lady.
I am so sorry.
Hey, this is technology. It makes our lives so much easier, right?
Oh my gosh. I just like, for some reason, it's not showing up on the Pink Boots one. I've been running up and down this hill. The phone's like dying. Oh my God, that was awful.
Like I said, well, hey, I'll have a beer for you if you don't have
Yeah,
one. Oh,
I don't even have one.
oh, well, cheers to you. Hey,
Thank you
there
so
we
much.
go.
I'm so sorry that took so long.
Oh,
I'm like out of breath.
uh, well, catch your breath. But when you catch your breath, I'll do a quick intro for you. So, Brienne Allen
Thank you.
is the production manager, and are you head brewer or lead brewer up at Notch Brewing? What's your title?
Production manager.
Okay. So
Yep.
you've risen up through the ranks there, and done everything from done everything there. You've run that brew house. You've you know managed all the production. You've run the canning line. You've just done it all.
Yeah, totally. It's been Chris and I for a while. So right now, because of everything that's going on, I'm actually haven't been there in a while. Chris is running all of the production himself, while Liz is running the whole tap room curbside situation, and I've been basically working from home, just making sure the production schedule is going and stuff like that. So they've been running the entire show. So, and it's going great,
It's
which is
actually
awesome.
Isn't it amazing how much work there still is to do from home?
Oh,
Even it's kind
crazy.
of a lot of people don't realize that I'm doing the same thing. We're still not in production, but we still have trials that we're working on. We've still got plans for all the beers that we're going to make, how we're going to
Mm-hmm.
reopen, like all that stuff still goes on.
Right. So you're working from home as well?
Yeah, it's really helpful to be able to do that, and just so that still keep connected, because I think that's the hard thing for like most any of us right now, when if you're not active at work, just having that connection to the brewery and the people and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the strangest part.
Um, yeah, we're super lucky. We actually, sales are insane. I keep getting all the notifications for like the curbside orders and stuff, and it's just my phone is just beeping like constantly. They've been super busy down there. We've been canning like every other week now, because apparently that's like clearly the best way to get your product out at this
Yeah.
point. Um, it's just insane. So a lot of the loggers that we like swore we would never put in cans are now all going into cans, and people are absolutely loving it. And so we're just switching everything over to canning, and it's been a crazy response. So we're like super lucky. So we're still brewing every week, which is great.
Well, it's kind of turning your whole business on its head too. Like you're saying about the loggers that you were never going to put in cans are
Right.
in cans, and once things are back open, what do you I mean do you think you'll continue putting those beers in cans now that people are used to having them?
So I'm not really sure. I guess it all depends on the laws that when it happens, when they let people
Yeah.
back in the tap rooms. Because if people can't come back in, then we might as well just keep packaging things, because they obviously can't enjoy draft.
Right.
We sell a lot, like most of the offerings are also in crowlers, which are just the liter
Yeah.
cans. But I mean, it's obviously fresher in a 16 ounce, so it stays longer, the shelf life. So that's why I think people are opting for the 16 ounces, because they can keep them in their fridge like forever.
Yeah, they've been packaged more properly. I mean, crowlers, at least for us, I know they're filled off. We purge with CO2, and they're filled off the tap, so
Yeah.
they need to be consumed quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna do that right away. But still, I bet like when you do open again, when we can have people back in the breweries, I'm just imagining that it's kind of one of the questions that got asked is like, how do we see like the industry changing, just even like our own business is changing. And I'm sure that when we open at first, there's still going to be mostly takeaway. Even if people can come in,
Mm-hmm.
there's still as much as like I'm dying to go out to all my favorite restaurants too. I'm not sure I'm going to want to be first in the
Yeah.
door. as soon as they open, as much as I want to. So I'll keep, we expect we're going to be doing a lot more, takeaway, even if people have, are getting around freely and comfortably.
Right. Yeah, we're lucky we have a couple different options when it comes to that. We have the mobile beer garden truck, so
Mm.
worst comes to worst, maybe we could do, just outdoor events, and maybe people will be more comfortable with that in the future.
Oh,
Or
tell us a little more
uh,
about, some people might not know about it. Tell us a little more about your mobile beer truck. That's awesome.
so the mobile beer garden kind of got put on hold this year, just because we were going through some changes. Plus, we were opening the new brewery in Brighton. Um, Obviously, it's on hold because we don't have any employees to run it or go anywhere. But so it's kind of like a deal with the trustees, and so we go to all the different trustees locations in the North Shore, which are like these gorgeous places, like on cliffs overlooking oceans, and there's like museums, and they're all like super family friendly. They have like farms and orchards, and so we just go and park there for a day, and it's just a crazy turnout. It's just tons of families like during the fall, like just drinking, and like museums and on the ocean. I don't know, it's really cool.
That's
But
pretty well, definitely.
I hope
So
we can get it going again. So
everyone keep your eyes open for for the Notch mobile beer garden truck, because
yeah.
that is really spectacular.
Yeah, so hopefully we can use that to our advantage for not people not being able to come in the tap room, but everyone's still discussing, our options and everything. Do you guys have like a mobile transportation thing?
No, not right at this point. So, I mean, it's something that, it gets talked about, but we don't have anything mobile like that. We're doing, we're canning on site in Jamaica Plain at the Boston Brewery. But in the tap room, we're only doing crowlers, and any cans that we sell are coming from JP.
Okay.
So that's where we are, right? So right before you logged on, I was starting to talk about the Pink Boots collaboration brew.
Yeah. That's still happening? No.
Well, yeah. So I was saying that that International Women's Day, March 8th, and we did you know lots of breweries were brewing their beers. All the women at their companies were brewing their beers, you know on or around the 8th, or some people were releasing at that time, but in honor of International Women's Day. And how it works for Pink Boots Society is, Yakima Chief hops and Country Malt Group have made donations to, or promised donations for sales that they make for ingredients, based,
Yep.
go to this brew, like Yakima
I
Chief.
think White Labs and
Oh,
BSG
yeah,
also.
yeah, White Labs. Thank you. Yes, thank you, and White BSG. And one of the things that Yakima Chief does is they actually make a special blend of hops. And last year at the Great American Beer Festival at the Pink Boots meeting there, everyone got together. There were maybe 18 different hops to choose from. Everyone went around and chose their favorite their favorite hops, and ones that they thought would go well together, and the blend came out based on that. So every
Yeah.
year a portion of those sales go back, wind up as a donation to the Pink Boots Society.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things we were hoping that has actually happened. And there is going to be a check presentation next Friday, May 1st,
Mm-hmm.
from Yakima Chief for the funds that were raised from that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really great that we can lean back on that, the donations from all of our partners, because I know a lot of people are still releasing their Pink Boots collab beers that use the hops in them, but I mean, I really don't expect anybody to be sending in donations at this time. I mean, who has extra money to send to charities in the first place? So it's great that we can rely on our friends to send in their donations that they pledged earlier before. And I know they have a lot of the Pink Boots blend left over too, so if people still wanted to support without having to donate, they can just buy the hops and brew beer with it. So
yeah,
that's cool.
a lot of breweries are going to have to decide what to do. Like, we brewed our beers and they were just getting ready to dry hop them when we closed down. So they're still sitting in tank. They've been moved into, basically, sort of, a kind of bright aging, but, but not carbonated, but just waiting. So I didn't want them to sit on hops and then have to move them again. But
Mm-hmm.
If we can't salvage these brews, then we'll probably brew again. That we can, we'll have that, that option. It might not necessarily be an option for everyone. Now it looks like we've got
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It'll be interesting to
So you
see.
just have beer sitting in the tanks there?
Yeah, moved everything, off yeast and hops, and because like all my serving tanks are all backed up. So
Okay, and
we're
you can't get like Ironheart or JP to can that stuff or no?
no, because I mean, even then, like all the social distancing, just even for us, like, to be able to move everything, it's just it's way too complicated, unfortunately. So
Hmm.
we'll probably wind up rebrewing a lot of stuff. I mean, we're going to do sensory analysis on everything, but
Yeah,
before we make decisions. I mean, if we're in the next month or so, who knows? If we're in the next 3 months, who knows?
hopefully not.
Yeah. Well, we just got a question coming in. Okay. How do you join the Food Society if you're a woman in the beer industry? I've never brewed before and I'd love to. So if you are a woman in the industry, or if you earn, 25% of your income, from beer, and that can be, you don't have to be a brewer, you can be, sales, marketing, bartender, any aspect of the industry. And if you earn 25% of your income, from beer, you're eligible to join. And you can, you would go to our webpage at Pink Boot Society, pinkbootsociety.org, and then you can set the you can join through there. And it's a $35 membership fee, and then there are also local chapters. So like Brienne is the president of our Boston chapter, which is one of the largest chapters in the country, maybe the largest, I believe.
Hmm.
Definitely
We
the
actually might be tied with San Diego now, but who knows?
but San Diego is a much larger and even older brewing community. So I think it's pretty rad that that we'd be on that same kind of representation of of women in the industry.
Hmm.
Here's to Boston.
Yay!
So now you've got a lot of activities to for to draw attention and raise money for Pink Boot Society.
So it's been rough because everyone is just kind of scrambling so much with their own. I mean, all members work at a different company, so everyone's just pretty much been focusing on their own companies. So we haven't set up any virtual like meetings or anything. Our arm wrestling event got canceled,
Oh,
obviously. So yeah, we haven't really been able to figure it out other than we've been meeting with the chapter leaders on Zoom, but I haven't really connected with any of the members, although they're changing like all the scholarships to online for the foreseeable future. So those are still available and they're still happening. So
yeah.
on our Pink Boots page, the Boston one, or just the regular Pink Boots Society website, they list all the scholarships every month. So
Yeah, that is another way that even Pink Boots has had to pivot. Like for us, this brew and the funds that we raise from it is the biggest fundraiser of the year, and that's what funds all of our scholarships. Last year we awarded nearly 40 scholarships, and this year we're on target for 60.
wow.
And that's pretty awesome. So the money that we raise from this program is just huge, and that's what it results in is huge. Just getting people the education and the opportunities that they might not have otherwise. So we're hoping that we can still, we've got really generous sponsorship partners too, like the folks that have these educational programs that they're offering, are really generous and working with us to make all of this possible.
Hmm.
So,
Speaking of free
yeah,
education, have you been watching all of the CBC lectures and everything every day?
yes, the Craft Brewers Conference, we should have been in San Antonio. Well, actually, we should have been probably flying home from San Antonio today with our Beer Cup medals, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. So we would have been flying back, but the CBC, Brewers Association, had to pivot and go online.
Hmm. It's
So
been really great that they're free. I've been watching like all three every day.
yeah,
There's so many different outlets that are just giving away like free brewing education right now, and it's just like amazing. I have so much to do. I'm like, everyone's going to be so much smarter when we come out of this. I just hope everyone's like utilizing them because
yeah,
everything's free and it's for everybody. And I don't
yeah.
know,
So
they're really cool.
anyone who's out here listening tonight too, like if you don't know about this, even if you're not in the industry, uh, I'd have to find the website, but for the Brewers Association is doing the virtual Craft Brewers Conference, and anyone can attend these sessions right now. What would normally be, I don't even know what the registration would be, but it's a lot of money to actually go to the
Oh
conference.
yeah, Like
but
what, $500 or something? I've
yeah,
never been, so I'm really excited I get to see
so
it.
so now we can go to all of those, all of those sessions. If you can watch them now live, you can watch it it's available immediately afterwards to replay and watch again or watch later, or if you missed it,
Mhm.
catch up with. And it'll be available through May 31st to anyone. So anyone who's interested. And then after that, it will go just to Brewers Association members. But for the next 5 weeks, anyone's got access to all this kind of information. So like if you're thinking about, someone just shared it, Craft Brewers Conference. Thank you, someone's way ahead of me, because I'm busy just yapping. I need.
Yeah.
I,
I know it keeps beeping.
I know. I see stuff happening, and I just want to answer one question that came in. Yes, even if you work in HR, on anything, you are eligible to join, the Pink Boot Society. So especially if you
Oh,
work in,
totally.
yeah, and that's why.
I got like all the bartenders in Salem
Yeah,
where Nut is. I'm
yeah,
like, you sell our beer, you should join. It's just,
yeah.
they're like, really? I love beer and I sell it. And I'm like, yeah, you qualify. So we literally just like have everybody from all over the spectrum of the industry like joining.
Well, because the
So,
best thing is, the resources there is like you're just increasing your network. You're getting to,
mhm.
you're meeting a whole additional group of, of colleagues that you might not have met otherwise. It's not, and it just like, that just makes things, makes you smarter because you get to know more people and pick their brains about whatever, or just go have beers when you're in town, get, in the sport building. Oh, we lost you.
It's windy out here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like I said, we're really talking here.
um, yeah, it's crazy opportunities, especially I get so many emails and stuff about, like, even just right now, there's like free sister owned classes, the CBC classes. Siebel just like offered a ridiculous amount of online classes. There's so many free webinars going on right now, and I post them on like the Pink Boots page every day. I don't know if anyone sees them, but
Well, I do because I share them. So at
no,
least
you're the only one.
I pretty much share everything I see, like you see from you, the Boston Pink Boots
Thank
page.
you.
Well, it's great stuff.
I know. I was like, I hope people
Great
are using this.
it's great opportunities for anyone who's, if you're at all interested in the industry, if you're in the industry, or even if you just love beer, then this is,
Mm-hmm.
there, you should, follow, pay attention, especially at, Pink Boots. We're really very active. Sam Adams and Notch are really active and just
Mm-hmm.
trying to, just trying to connect with, with our drinkers. All right, let me just pull up our questions that we had come in too before, so we should probably actually answer the questions.
Oh
So,
yeah, I forgot.
I know it's just so nice catching up with you. But
I
anyway,
know. I haven't seen you in so long. It's actually been, hasn't it been like exactly a year? Because
yeah, I
last
think
time I saw you was the Pink Boots release last year at the
here.
JP round. Yeah.
All right. So, do you feel that breweries are too saturated, or are there still many opportunities for growth? That's a tough one right now.
I know. Did you see the CBC lecture on that?
No, I didn't. That's one that I missed.
Oh, that was a good one. The good news is the craft beer industry has basically made the most money that we've ever made. It's
That's good for the
here,
industry.
I guess. But at the same time, there's been like a record amount of closures even before like the COVID-19 thing happened. But I mean, the more breweries there are, the more they're gonna close. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and
But
right, this is just a tough time for, for businesses, for, small businesses, medium businesses. It's, it's a really tough time. I think there's, in a lot of ways, there's plenty of room for your local brewery, for your tap room, in a smaller town. There's a lot of room for that because we love to have a place just to go that we can call your own, that's your local. But yeah,
yeah,
right now, people aren't going to have as much disposable income to spend. So support your
right.
local breweries as you can, folks. Help everyone out.
Yeah, the biggest thing with that lecture that I watched is they were saying like, although there are so many tap rooms going up and the revenue for craft brewing industry is going up, and it's the most that we've ever made. The price increase for beer a year is actually, the percentage is going down, and that's the scariest part
Ooh,
about it. So like 2017, I forget, I wish I had like the chart in front of me, but like 2017 prices went up like 3% for six packs, and then the next year was like 2.4, and then this year is like 1.2. So like the price of craft beer is actually, it went up, and now it's not going up as fast as it should be. And so beer is just getting like more affordable because there's just so much of it, and the competition is just fucking crazy. So.
Yeah. So
that was a good lecture.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great lectures. All right, let's see. Let's work our way through these. What do you see for the future of brewing education and how people will be getting their hands-on experience?
Not anymore. Sorry.
I know. Not hands-on.
Like everything's online now. It sucks. I don't know. It's really hard. I don't know how anyone's going to break into the industry at this point. Hands-on live.
And without, hands-on, I mean, for me, I know when I started, I was taking classes, but I was also hands-on. Most of my time was hands-on, and I was doing classes online, but without that day-to-day hands-on, it wouldn't have meant as much. So you've got, find a program or find a brewery to be in, someone who will give you a chance and get, and have your hands on things so it actually means something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I kind of saw like getting a brewing job at Jack's Abbey is kind of like a vocational school, because once I got like a hands-on experience of it for a couple of years, then I could take the classes and do all the courses and get the certificates, and I could actually apply the information to what I was doing instead of learning like physics theories and then being like, why am I learning this? So it was nice to be able to get the hands-on first and then the online. So that's why I'm kind of worried about everyone now only being able to have access to online and not the hands-on. So,
hopefully it'll start switching back. That it'll start tipping back once we actually get out of this thing, and and the dust starts to settle. Let's see. There's a question here. Do we think home brewing might begin to play more of a role in opening doors to the industry? I feel like in the past there has been some stigma attached to that. Actually, home brewing's been has had a huge role in people, to opening the doors in the industry. So many people that have started their own breweries were home brewers to begin with and didn't necessarily even get professional experience, ahead of time. They took a chance and went out there. I mean, I was a home brewer before I got my first job at Cambridge Brewing Company. I was a home brewer for 10 years, but I still knew I needed to start at the bottom. But yeah, home brewing
is always kind of, I mean, even all the breweries opening now are all just a lot of home brewers, either professional brewers now that decided they've like had enough and want their own situation, or it's just home brewers that, I mean, that's where most breweries start from anyways, home brewing.
Yeah.
I've only homebrewed once, and it was like a month ago. It was my first time. It was like liquid extract, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was looking up directions on how to use it, and it was like, boil it for 5 minutes, and then you put it in a bucket or something. And I was like,
that's not how you make it.
Mash temperatures. What do I do? It's probably in somebody's basement right now, my friend Erin. It's in her basement. I haven't seen it. I wonder how it's doing.
Well, my advice to anyone who's a home brewer who's thinking about getting into the industry is, you guys have a lot more information available than I did when I was home brewing, like in the 90s. Yeah. There's so much more information. So, of course, nothing will replace the hands-on, but read everything you can, get to know everything, but be willing to start over too. Be willing to start at the bottom and take and transition that knowledge into working knowledge. So that's kind of my advice for the home brewers thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I really have to pay a lot of tribute to home brewers, because every time I have a question in brewing, and obviously our equipment is way too big to experiment like on at the point where you're like basically doing experiments scientifically. Mm-hmm. Whereas at home they have like all that expendable equipment, and they can just, I feel like they're a lot smarter than I am.
Well,
they're just like, oh, well, I tried 1 decoction on this one, 2 decoctions on this one, and 3 on this one, and here are the differences between the 3. And I'm like, I wish I could brew the same beer with different types of decoctions and then try them side by side and find out if there's actually something happening or not.
Well,
So I really love like all the information.
Isn't a mistake. Yeah, it's a whole different set of decision factors. How do you believe taproom and brewery models will shift? More emphasis on to go and canning beers versus draft and kegs to start? Yeah, that's pretty much, we've already kind of gotten there. That I think we both expect that there will be a lot more to go service than we're used to, and not sure how long that's going to stay, that balance is going to stay, but people will definitely be itching to get out to bars, but it's not going to be like it was before, not right away.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, with the mobile beer garden thing, hopefully we can do some like pop-up outside bars when some of the bans have been lifted. Maybe that'll make people more comfortable instead of like being in a confined space.
Well, if you hand out pool noodles that people can use as a 6-foot bar to have around you or something. Let's see. What are your favorite styles to brew?
You first.
Most of my professional brewing life was spent in pubs and small breweries before I came to Sam Adams, and we did ales almost all the time. So for me, mainly for time, you don't have you're trying to make beers not quicker than they should be made, but just you need to make them quickly so that you can sell them. And ales you can have ready to sell within 2 to 3 weeks from brewing. Lagers, that's why I love them. There's so much more delicacy to them. So I always love that challenge now. So I really love making lagers.
And that new system that you got, it's a decoction system.
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
So cute. It's cute in that it's a 5 hectoliter. It's so it's smaller, but it's amazing to get to really play around with traditional German brewing techniques and everything like that. So yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to playing. I only had a few weeks to play with it. I'm like.
Did you do any decoctions in those few weeks that you had? Yeah. So what are some of the lagers that we get to try that have been going to be lagering during this whole thing?
Oh, there's a beautiful Schwartz beer that is that is on right. It's in serving tank right now that we were serving for at least a week. I've got a nice dry hop pilsner that's in brew at this point. That one I really can't. I want that to be served. I hope that will live. I hope it'll just be lovely lager by the time all is said and done.
Right, more lagering the better. Everyone's lagers are going to be so good after this.
I know. Oh man, what about you? What's your favorite to brew?
So I was reading this question earlier and I was thinking about it, and I've recently been telling people how much I dislike the style Helles for some reason. I just really don't like it, I decided. But it's actually the most, I don't know why, it's just not for me. Maybe it's just not hoppy enough, I don't know.
They're really bready. Like I think it's really bready.
It's like grapey. It tastes like a purple situation to me. And I don't know. But like when you taste something, it kind of tastes like a color.
Yes.
It kind of tastes like the color purple to me.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's so weird. But I love brewing it though because we do all low hot side aeration techniques. So we're basically purging every single tank, mashing in from the bottom. It's just like the craziest. You have to be present for every single part of the process, and you have to use like your brain at full capacity the whole time because you're like, where could air, like oxygen, get into this process? And it changes the whole flavor. So you're kind of like researching it while you're doing it, and then being like, none of this makes sense. And is it real, or is this just like some weird German theory? And I don't know. That's my favorite beer to brew, but I don't really like drinking it.
So do you think it's real, or is it some weird German theory?
Well, we've done low hot side aeration techniques every time we brewed it, so I haven't compared it not doing that. So I'm just going to say yes.
Okay, we'll go with that. Let's see. I think. Oh, and here's a good question. It's one that I really think is important for us. What can people do now to support Pink Boot Society from a national and local chapter level? So, oops, I'm about to have a cat come in here. Sorry. Yeah, we're really live here.
Oh. That's why I went outside. I have 3 cats that have been like all over the place.
So, what can people do to support Pink Boots from a chapter level?
Uh, I've posted as many things about which breweries are selling their collaboration brews that have them, but unfortunately, out of the 45, I think there's only like maybe less than a dozen that have actually
Mm.
released them. But I can post a whole list of that actually later
Okay,
to make
that
it easier for everybody.
yeah, on the Pink Boots
And
side.
then, like we said earlier, the hot blend's still available, so
Yeah. So
that's like a guaranteed donation without people having to pledge to
yeah, so that would
give
be
away money they don't have.
yeah. I mean, on the Pink Boot Society website, pinkbootsociety.org, you can actually also buy merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, ball caps. Any of that will certainly help the organization continue to meet its scholarship goals and just operating costs. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it costs a lot to manage all this, but the thing that's really most important is our mission of education and being able to, keep on offering, scholarships in all ranges for servers in the Cicerone, brewing technology, other, front of house, marketing, sales, all types of training that's offered. And, if we can keep on doing that and supporting that, then we're doing our job. So you can help the national group that way. And if you see, local breweries selling their beers, their International Women's Day Pink Boot Society beers, please buy them and enjoy them.
Yep.
I
And
think
Laura was just saying it would be super helpful if people can't afford memberships, if you want to sponsor somebody to for a membership too, just so they can stay in it.
that would be great. Yeah,
Also, aren't they're doing is it 3 months free membership, or they're not collecting dues? Ooh, I
yeah,
wish I remember.
deferring the dues, for anyone who's either laid off, lost their job. Money's tight right now, so if your membership renewal would be coming up now, we're deferring those fees because just because you're not currently actively working, these are unusual times, and we're not going to kick you out of the group because your breweries shut down throughout this. So there's definitely stay active, stay on the message board, stay on the website, on the Facebook group, and you've got a lot of people who are on your side as part of this network. We're here to support each other and keep advancing women in the beer industry. And I think with that, I think that's kind of the end.
Really?
I know. It feels like it feels like we just got started, but I think it's actually been. I think we've been talking for a few minutes.
Well, yeah. No, it's been great. I have like a fire going,
Oh
so
man.
I'm great. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little jealous of that, but well, we'll have to catch up more, some other time, definitely.
Yeah. Well,
And
you have Zoom. I have Zoom.
yes,
I think there's like a Pink Boots Zoom meeting. What
next,
next Saturday or something?
yeah, yeah. I think I've got it on my calendar too.
I'll see you
So
there.
I'll see you there. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
joining us, Brienne, and
Yeah. Thanks for
Sarah.
having me.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you. And thanks everyone for tuning in and and asking your questions and listening to us chat. And I know, if you're anywhere near Salem, go to Notch Brewing and pick up some of those beautiful lagers that have never been in cans before. Take them home and enjoy them, and keep buying Sam Adams out in your Packies and Craft Beer Cellar and all the great stores who sell us, and you know and all your local breweries. Just help keep supporting us all through these crazy times, and take care of yourselves. Just everyone be well and wash your hands. All
Always.
right,
But
hey,
all right. Love you.
love you too. Thanks everyone.